All right. Hey, it's Dr. B with the Vegan's Beef. So, how's it going? Hope everything's all right. I'm always messing with my hair. I check it 50 times and it just never seems quite right. One day I'm going to do a tutorial on my hair products that I use because I have sister locks. So this is all my natural hair. And I use the Sister Locks products, of course, but I also, I wash my hair with glutinous rice water, and that is, oh boy, that's really good for the hair. And one day I'm going to show you how to make it and how I mix it and put it with like some other natural products and keep your hair going. But what I want to talk about real quick is the not only the situation with my computer. My computer, I did receive my box from HP, and so I'm heading over to UPS momentarily to get that moving. And so the deal is with my car. My car should have been out of the shop at least, let's see, a week, the Friday before last, or the following Monday. And so I take my car, and I had to wait. So I put the claim in September 16th. I had to wait till October 12th to for the appointment to get the car in. And so when I took my car in, I told him, because see, I was backing into my driveway and somehow I angled the car over too much and hit my neighbor's pillar. And it didn't just dent the door, it kind of put a hole in it. I'm like, what are they making cars out of these days? Anyway, so I take my car and it was supposed to be fixed. And so I call like Tuesday because I really needed to take my cats to the vet. And so I was like, well, I could wait until Friday or Monday, but then I really need to start getting these cats, to their appointments and stuff, their checkups. And so he's like, well, we had to order some more parts and this and that and blah, blah, blah. So it should be maybe 2 more days. So I wait till the end of the week. No call on Friday, call the next Monday. Well, when we were installing the door, we accidentally broke the window and we had to do this and we had to do that and we are sending it to get tinted and da da da. And so then I'm like, okay, well, it seems like let's just keep moving. And so I went on, and then I had wanted some extra stuff done. So with the claim, I wanted to have, with the claim, the door was supposed to be fixed and repaired, and then I wanted them to fix uh, the rear tail light, and I had a tail light that I bought off of eBay. Yes, a used but in good condition tail light. And I said, can you put that in and can you check the sensors to make sure that the key is communicating with the sensors inside so I could lock the doors? And, I want this and a couple of little stuff that I was going to have done on the side. I was going to get the claim and then I pay for the rest of the stuff. Well, he calls finally, like a couple days ago, and says, well, the car's just about ready to pick up. We did this and that, but we didn't install this tail light. And I was like, yeah, but that was part of the deal. I wanted that done. Well, we can't do it. We don't work on Land Rover. Is it, the Land Rover is like this. And so then it gets to the point where, well, obviously you're not able to work on this type of a car. And so I contact State Farm and I tell them, this person couldn't fix my car at the last minute after agreeing at the estimate of all these things they would do, including install the tail light at the last minute when it's time to pick up the car, they said, no, we didn't do it. We're not going to do it because we don't want to damage your car. So obviously, these people were not equipped to work on a Land Rover. And so I called State Farm and I explained how frustrated I was for how long it took, and more parts and this and that. Like, I'm sorry, but I know even with COVID and stuff, that's really not my problem. If you say that a car is going to be ready at a certain time on a certain date, it should be. Not, oh, well, this happened and that happened and all these unforeseeable things. Well, you should have had the unforeseeable things in. Um, you should have had all that calculated in, you know. And so, anyway, well, I contact State Farm, and State Farm, they contact me back. I talked to my agent, and then the agent talked to claims, and then claims relayed back to the agent that I could have taken the car anywhere I wanted to, and that they provided a statement in an email for me. Well, here's the deal, though. I That's not the point, isn't whether or not I could choose my own mechanic or whatever. My deal is I like to go with who the insurance company says, because when you do that, the mechanic is guaranteed. Like sometimes when you pick your own person, and it does, like say AAA or something like that, go with AAA, because if you go with a AAA mechanic, AAA will kind of back it. So if anything goes wrong, you can go back through AAA. So I said I'd rather just have State Farm refer me. And so what happened was State Farm referred me to a mechanic that is not equipped to work on Land Rovers. And so I talked to claims again, and we went back and forth and back and forth. And I said, well, are these people certified to work on this type of car? And she says, you know what? I could look that up for you. And so she looks it up, and she says, oh, no, they don't have any particular type of certifications. Well, I you can't do that these days, because the way the cars are made, only the particular, sometimes only the dealership almost, or they have to be certified to work on that type of car. So now I'm going to have to. He's like, oh, okay, well, we didn't fix the light, so you're going to have to go to Land Rover and get that done, and get this and that done with the key sensor and the da 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 da. Well, if I had known that in the beginning, I would have done that. And then on top of that, State Farm should have, first of all, said, well, there's certain cars, like they specialty cars, like BMWs, Lexus, Hummer, Mercedes, Jaguar, stuff like that. You can't just take that to any old mechanic. A mechanic that's not certified. Saab, you know. I have a Saab. I also have a 1987 Alfa Romeo that I used to drive that car. That was my work car and everything. I just kept it. It's not. It runs. I've had so much work done on it, but I had a guy work on that. He didn't know what he was doing, so I'm gonna have to take it to Gran Turismo and have them take everything that he did, and I paid $1,500 for, and undo that and fix that, because I learned my lesson. You need, even if your car is a Ford, you better make sure that the person is certified to work on Fords. I shouldn't even say it's specialty. And so I'm trying to talk to State Farm, and tell them, because like I say, I'm always saying I'm a certified scrum master, I'm a certified scrum master, but I am, and my specialty is in a work process improvement, and State Farm is all over the place. I'm sorry, because they should know, as an insurer of automobiles, when someone calls in to make a claim and they say, "What kind of car do you have?" and they say, "I have a Mazda," or a Priya, or is that what that's called? I think a Prius, stuff like that. They should take the time to say, okay, with that car, let's make sure that, do they need to be, are there certifications involved with working on this particular car? And then try to find a mechanic that's certified. And if you cannot find a mechanic that's certified in that, let them know. Say, I have a list of mechanics. Now, let me let you know, they're not certified on Mazdas. They're not certified on Hummers. They're not certified to work on Jeeps. So I thought, this big, huge company that spends millions and millions of dollars on commercials. And a word to car insurance companies, a little less commercial and a little more business with our money. It's our money paying for those commercials, and half of them are not even funny, you know? Goodness gracious. And so, this is the second time State Farm has pulled some funny business on me, because what they did another time was, I had like a little flood in my basement. It wasn't really that major, but I was worried because it rains a lot. And I thought, well, it could get worse. So I called State Farm, and the person who answered the phone, or the person in claim, said, okay, this is what I want you to do. Call up Service Master or Service Pro, Serve Pro. Here are the phone numbers. Have them come in, get the place dried out. Da, 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 da. So I called, and I had them come in, and they brought in like those big, huge fans, and so the guy set those out. They didn't even have to drain the water, because by that time the water had kind of seeped back into the concrete in my basement. And so that was on a Saturday. And then Sunday, well, the claim, uh, what is it? The claim adjuster came in on Tuesday. And then when that claim adjuster, oh, and I talked to ServPro on Monday, and they said that a ServPro technician tried to come over on Sunday to look at the progress, and he would have taken the fans down. He should have, because it was pretty much dry by that time. It wasn't really that wet in the first place. Anyway, on Tuesday, here comes the adjuster. You know what he says? Oh, okay, well, this is the damage, and this is how much it'll cost, blah, 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 and this is the damage, and no, 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 no. And your deductible is this much. And then he looks and checks on it. He goes, oh, but you're not covered. You don't have sump pump coverage. You don't have, and so this whole neighborhood is a riverbed. It is everybody in this whole section should have sump pump insurance, but I just happen to not have it. I'm insured for everything else in my house, but not the sump pump. So anyway, they reject the claim, and I say, well, what about this deal with ServPro? And they said, oh, well, we're not covering that. It's not covered. Nothing's covered. And I said, yeah, but the guy told me to call. You know how much that cost? $1,200 for two fans. And they were running off my electricity. And when I called ServPro to ask them, I told them about what happened. I said, they told me to do it, and then they turned around and they wouldn't cover it. Can you give me a discount? No, sorry. I had to pay the whole thing. I was so mad. I wrote a letter. Really, I was just so. I was saying, how can you guys do this to your customer? I've been with you since 1988. Blah, 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 blah. Going on and on about it. I mean, I was living in Europe a lot, but I started out, when I was in the States as a teenager, State Farm. I think it goes all the way back. It could go all the way back to 1982 or something like that, And yeah. And so State Farm, they said sorry, and I talked to the top judge. I talked to the top person, and they said, "I'm sorry, but we denied this claim, and we told you, we informed you that before hiring the restoration company that it may not be um, uh, it may be declined, okay, it may not be accepted, but they never did. They said they have it on tape or whatever, but I don't believe it because I never even knew of Servant. I never even heard of Serve Pro, to tell you the truth. So, and the person gave me Service Master and Serve Pro phone numbers. I would not have called them if I had known that if I didn't have coverage, and the person in the claims department should have even known if this is a sump pump issue, this isn't covered. But nobody said, all they told me to do was call Serve Pro and Service Master. And so now I'm going through this thing again with State Farm. And they're saying, well, you could have called anybody you wanted. I know I could have called anybody I wanted, but I thought you were sending me to a place when you got the name of my car that you were going to be responsible enough to send it to a place that was certified to work on Land Rovers. And of course, they turn it all the way back around to you like you can't get it. So, I talked to the I talked to my agent. My agent's very understanding because a similar thing happened to even him. Even him went through something similar to me, and he had to pay for all of the damages out of pocket. So these insurance companies, one thing I want to say is maybe stop making all these commercials for a minute. People by law have to have car insurance. You don't have to advertise on TV. Take the money that we are paying to you and spend it on the product development. Okay? These commercials. Cool. I mean, it's like, can you at least do one or two, three commercials a year? We don't need 25 commercials for your one product. Or your house, you got home owners, you got renters, you got, stuff like that. But can you guys help us? Look at how much money I'm out of pocket. And wouldn't even pay half. Oh man, State Farm? Ooh, a good neighbor? Like a good neighbor? Okay, all right then. But anyway, that's basically where I am. They're supposed to be delivering my car, and the girl at State Farm told me, she said, I even had to hound him to bring your car because they have it in their agreement that, and read this agreement, people, when you get your car fixed through a State Farm partner or whatever, they you have the option of them coming to get your car and to deliver it. So I caught the bus out there and came back with this man who came and sat right across from me and was coughing and sneezing. You know, I could have had them come get the car if I had read it. So read that stuff. And also, when they tell you that what date the car should be fixed, that's a guarantee. And if they don't fix it by the day they said, because it has that, you got to read that. I got to get that form. I don't use any graphics and stuff, and I probably should. But you know what, people? Let's not be so dependent on visuals. Use your brain. Gee, come on, people. But anyway, yeah. So that's my beef. Oh goodness gracious, people, come on, tell me, what are some things that bother you about some of these consumer products? And are you satisfied? Let's have a conversation. Don't just have me talking, you know? But anyway, it's nice connecting as usual. And until next time, we will chat again.